Hello, one and all, and welcome to the three-digit World Cup Qualifiers Pool Showcase. I'm Papa, and joining me for this one is going to be Nick, the main pooler, and Whiten, one of our playtesters and co-commentators. Pretty excited for this one. It's a pretty fun quals pool, short, sweet, to the point. Should be enjoyable for everyone. Nick, how are you feeling about the pool overall?
I'm really happy. I've had a pretty decent break, and a lot of feedback with probably the worst 3WC pools in history of 3WC last year.
Mm.
But I'm excited for this year. It's going pretty well.
Yep. To add on to that, I'm also really excited to look at that qualifiers pool. Short and nice, as you have said prior. Gonna correct you real quick that I'm not a playtester. That would be kind of crazy considering my rank, but yes. Yeah, really excited. I feel like it's also a really nice lineup here with all of us. I think all of us actually pool, and Nick obviously being the main map pooler for this tournament. But yeah, that being said, would you guys want to transition right into the maps themselves?
Yeah, we can go straight into it, of course. Nowhere else to start but that No Mod 1. Leading into one Cruel Clocks. What is a No Mod 1 mapper if not Meg?
And this is just as standard as it gets. A little bit nostalgia vibes, because of course it's Meg. And it's not gonna be your Melon Boy, APOC, whatever, all them type jumps. Whatever, it's the craze nowadays.
I mean,
That's
this,
maybe not as anime-ish. Still a bit old.
for sure. I mean, Meg, I've grown up with that guy's maps, and they still slap to this day. 220 BPM Miku, some Vocaloid representation right off the bat here. The map was also being quite relatively long, 4 minutes and 23 seconds long. I mean, like, you can't really go wrong with the lengthy No Mod 1, especially for a qualifiers pool. This is just a classic here, Nick, and I'm glad you brought it out.
Yeah, but if there's also like custom from something, I'm gonna aim fast, but I don't know what iteration. I had no idea about that. I only saw it now that I opened the map to make the map pack, to like download it and make the map pack.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was just like, okay, I mean, it's a Meg map.
But yeah, this classic, it's strange when 2021 becomes nostalgia, right? Like, classic Meg game, like, the aim has changed so much in just, like, the past few years with, of course, Melon Boy dropping onto the senior classic, Alden, higher BPM, sort of stamina hidden one style aim maps. There's been, like, lots of updates to the classics, but this one, just going back to your usual standard consistency, high spacing affair. And at 4 minutes, I do believe this is the longest map in the pool. Yeah, by about like 40 seconds. So pretty solid length on this one. It's gonna be your consistency slot, gonna be your aim slot.
Yep, the BPM on this is really high by a pretty good margin as well. Sorry, the length, but the BPM as well is also there, 220 BPM. Probably, I mean, aside from DT1. Which is not really that aimable. We'll get to that shortly, but this one in particular, though, is going to be focusing on that high-ish BPM aim. 220 as can be seen by Jackpax's comment earlier on the chat, stating that it's a speed map. I mean, it does have a few bursts and streams, but yeah, definitely has a bit of that speed element, quote-unquote, but the main focus of this map is still aim.
And there's also actually I think it's the second highest SR in the pool as well, despite this probably gonna having very big average compared to the other maps. And this is so overstarred actually.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the SR these days anyway? I'd imagine, like, back in the days when this was probably mapped, this was probably around like 7.273 maybe? I don't really think it was like that high SR-wise. Back in the days before,
Yeah,
like,
the
all
target
the
for this pool, which for you is also asking now in chat, that's 7.374 ish.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, SR is crazy nowadays. We do not take that into account. We do not think
Yes.
like that. Just put some maps together that work well.
In general,
Difficulty balancing, my beloved.
Hell yeah. In general, what was like the main philosophy and the main thought process behind this Nomad 1, Nick?
I mean, I just wanted some standard stuff in this pool. You're gonna see a little bit of coming already from the next map, a bit of deviation from the norm.
Oh, for
But
sure,
here,
yeah.
I mean, here you just have your classic mechanics aim, filling in that gap.
Indeed. Well, quite a few horizontal jumps there at the end of the last guy too. Might catch a few players off guard because there's a pretty good share of both horizontal and vertical aim. But with those horizontal jumps, I'd imagine we'd see quite a few breaks on those patterns. But that being said, let's transition into the next map really short. Oh, this outro is really cool, by the way. I haven't really looked at that, but yeah. Moving on to Nomad 2 relatively shortly is going to be a really interesting pick, as Nick has said. Super luminal, 180 BPM flow streams, but some of those patterning, especially in the middle section, the middle KI, might be very interesting in comparison to what your average Nomad 2 would be, for example.
Yeah, your slot pooling normal 2 has come a bit to going into higher BPM. But I think for accessibility, you already have the DP pool if you want to test high BPM, and maybe 1 or 2 maps scattered around everywhere else. This will focus on flowing, not really stamina it seems, but flowing, which you can see with all this like weird spacing and a little bit of finger control actually as well.
It's interesting that this is mapped by Lucent because I see this style of flow aim, and I think like Rust Bell, like 170 BPM love map, you know? Like, it's a very similar style with just these cut quads and thirds. Spacing, like, super similar all throughout. It's space streams, but it's relatively comfortable if you can grasp the spacing of it. There's only, like, 1 or 2 spots where it deviates and accelerates a little more.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I think that is the inspiration, like that Rust Bell and a bit of Muya. I think Muya was also one of Lucent's obsessions around the time this came out.
I can see it. I can definitely see it. A bit of a slow section here with less space streams here. Still very streamy. A few, and we go into a bridge. It has a few cuts as well for those streams when it comes to like the measures. It gets a little more progressively spaced as we go on, transitioning shortly into the Ki. And the Ki itself is also really fascinating because in some sense, the patterning on the Ki might resemble that of like an alt map, but given the BPM, you can't really go like that crazy. But it does have that element of control, which you can kind of see right now.
Yeah, at this BPM, the aim control requirement is really dire, but those flow players are going to be eating good on this one, the 180. Not too out of depth, not too out of reach, fairly accessible. You're going to be seeing a lot of aim players probably filling in for this map because there isn't much of a stamina requirement either. It's relatively comfortable with those regards. But this little outro, just a handful of jumps. Unfortunately, they put 5-star jumps in the flow aim map. Agent 5D didn't like that, but solid replay for the Nomad 2. As we're going to go into Nomad 3, another little test of talent. It's going to be Outlaws, the pedal map set, I believe.
It is
Yeah,
the pedal
here's
map set.
yeah. We're going back to once again like the normal 2, like a little bit more awkward. This is still like an old school pool format. Every tournament does 3 DTs now, but we're sticking to 2, and 2 playthroughs is a classic 4-2-2 pool. So there's been some like a little implementation of these, a little more awkward stuff in, so that not every map is like generic. Like that normal 2, like yeah, it was that flame stuff. It was also CS5. Here we have AR9, like a little bit of, tiniest bit of precision there, little bit of reading here. But besides that little like reading AR9, if you want to call it a reading even element, this is a pretty interesting battle map compared to what you usually think when you think, okay, battle number 3.
Yeah, that density adds a little wrinkle here. And you also have to, like, I don't know. For me, a pool is made by the variance in the slots, right? Like if everything is just as anticipated, like, well, why are we bothering to play X tournament as opposed to Y tournament, right? Like, the results are already written on the wall because like every map is the same. So this added variance from these different slots, of course, always welcome.
Very good point there, Hub. Also adding on to that, I mean, aside from the density factor, the map by itself focuses a lot on those X and Y movement in general. It's very symmetrical. The patterns, well, not this section in particular, but you can kind of still see the symmetry lining around the map, especially for those like X and Y grids. It's not really a particular grid map, but I would not blame people for thinking that way for some of those patternings, especially given how the map focuses a lot on straight sliders in some sections. But yeah, the map right now, we are at the hardest part of the map, I'd imagine.
6 speed map, my bad.
But yeah,
A big 1/6.
the symmetry on this is really, really cool, and I feel like that was probably the concept that Paddle had in mind, and he did it really, really well for this map, for sure.
This is such a generational song. Like the original is cool and all, but Vimado just took this to another level with actual vocals instead of Vocaloid.
I mean, it depends on preference. I'd imagine that there are a lot of people that would prefer the Vocaloid version, but thinking about the map is just so good when it comes to the patterning and how the concept of symmetry is played along with. A lot of really cool ideas when it comes to movement as well, with some like 1-2 snaps. Obviously, the part in the second third is probably a good highlight of this map because it's very, very difficult, as you have said. 1-6 do exist, but it's a really cool map.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff there from Pedal. And we've had 2 out of realm maps with that Nomad 2 and Nomad 3, so let's bring it back to something you all know and maybe love. It's Valhalla Nomad 4. There are some things that are just comfortable in this world, like Meg Nomad 1 and Valhalla Nuge Nomad 4. Feel free to talk about that, Nick.
I think that the only like hate I can see for this is WinCon. Agent 5D and you, he kept talking about that as the test playing. Like this map is good, but it sucks for combo WinCon. If this was ACK WinCon, it'd be amazing. But we're not going that far yet. I know it's something that's being explored in more tournaments than before nowadays, but not yet to be seen in World Cups.
Yeah, the really generational of those with cons were to be introduced to World Cups. But yeah, the map by itself, I mean, this is a Nuge classic, recently loved as well, and by recently I mean probably like a year ago, maybe even more. Has been seen in quite a few tournaments before, but there is a good focus on both the flow requirement when it comes to the tech and control, and also the sliders themselves. The sliders go crazy with this one, with this map.
Being seen before in tournaments also kind of like helps people know the map. This is a very like practice heavy type of map. So if you've played it before in a tournament, that already helps you a bit.
Yeah, a really solid map here. Like in general, from what I've seen, I've joined a few streams of Nuge, or do have a good idea of how Nuge maps. And he takes so long to do with those sliders. Like the amount of time that you put into that slider design and the slider visuals is just insane dedication and work from Nuge. And I feel like this map is a really good example of this. You have a few sliders just also being scattered throughout a few of those sliders, so you need to aim for a few of those sliders. Not obviously all of them, but also given the flow requirement, control requirement, you kind of need to still be pretty much locked in throughout the entire duration of this map.
And we've actually seen all 3 replayers that will be present for the showcase, so shoutouts to those. Tim Kakner, Agent 5D / NU, because this is an old replay. and Endura.
My goats.
Those are the names that you'll be seeing for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, shout out to the big
Nope.
three. Back over to Tim Kackner for the next one. Going into our hidden one slot, it's going to be Sugaru Setsu, mapped by YFBMP.
Yeah. In general,
This is
Hubba. Go on, Nick.
yeah. This was a bit of a generational find from me and Hubba. I picked Hubba with like the initial draft. I don't remember what it was. And then we just started like looking for maps, and I just came across this. And it's like the exact thing I was looking for.
Oh no, I think the original draft was the hidden, or the Nomad 3 was in the hidden one slot, I think. And I was like, I think this might be like too hard. So we went hunting for some other control maps, and we came across this, which was like, it posted up just a month prior, November 29th upload date. YFBMP Classic Control, known for this kind of control semi-tech style. This one featuring lots of alt and aim control, and I mean, I don't know. YFBMP just kind of never misses. The quality here is so fun, especially for hidden, especially for that added density that the Air Nomad 3 is going to bring while not being too devastating on those eyes. It's a pretty solid map.
Pretty solid map, and also to topple it off, it was indeed a generational find because the map literally has 132 play count. Like, where did you find this? But yeah, the map is just a really solid control pick here. I wanted to ask Hubba's thoughts in general when it came to this map earlier, given how, I mean, Hubba's hidden hoopla and all of this, but I imagine Hubba was heavily involved in the process of giving this map an approval or just finding the map in general. And the map does its job really, really well. The length also going to be one of the factors here. It's going to be relatively short, 2 minutes and 5 seconds long. We talked about how the map was trying to be found, and I feel like this is a really solid map from YFBMP. Nice find there, guys. Nice find.
And so, some of the patterns are a little scary, especially towards the end there, but it's a short map. It's really practicable, and they actually flow really well.
Yeah, really solid there. And once again, you have a unique pick, and then back to what we know and love and what is comfortable, going into Science by Rollpan.
Enduro
I wouldn't say
replay.
it's that known yet. It's a recent upload. It just for a tournament. It's probably known, but not like Valhalla, which is like 3 years old and has been
True.
everywhere in those 3 years.
This map was originally a custom for the Teto Bonanza, right?
Yeah.
And it was like an early stage Nomad 1, or was it initially hidden 2? I forget whether or not this is an edit.
It was a Nomad. There is an edited diff, but I don't know which diff was in that tournament. I just know it was Nomad.
Yeah, but the Vocaloid bulk are rating really good with this pool so far. You have a Miku on Nomad 1, you have Teto on Hidden 2, and God, Alakasane Teto. But yeah, the map itself is quite aimy, with something that people may consider very awkward aimy as well, because there's a lot of patterning that's really awkward in comparison. You have like those pentagons you kind of need to flow through. You have a relatively high spacing in some of them, and a lot of geometrical patterns scattered throughout the map as well. We've seen a square earlier on, so something to take in mind here. But yeah, a really cool map by itself nonetheless. And I mean, the song also adds a lot more into the enjoyability factor to me.
Yeah, Rollpan, of course, classic. Hidden 2, very solid with these angular kind of aim maps. And this style of song, like, of course, not every Teto song is built different, but this kind of instrumental reminds me a lot of like Daidai Gnome. Like, it's similar vibe. Like, I'm getting very similar vibes.
You know what I find crazy is that the fact that the Endura is doing a replay to this, relatively known for his hidden reading abilities, mostly known as a mechanics player, but still pumping out this really good replay. So shoutouts to Endura on this one. And thank you for the replay once again.
I think it's just like the pool is easy enough that he can do this for him.
That's fair.
I was hoping to see some Hubba replays in the hidden pool, but it's okay.
Whoops. I got you in future weeks, big dog.
Hey guys, if you need replays, I'm just kidding. you don't need my replays. That'd be like 50k replays, but yeah.
Yeah, this one, the jumps get a little bit more spaced at the tail end, as well as these double patterns are a little ambiguous. It's very easy to accidentally over-aim those doubles because it's just like such close proximity, especially in that final pattern that is a little bit devious. But yeah, classic AR8 OD9 hidden 2 action. Moving on to our HR1, it's gonna be oh, there we go. One Sugo Sugoi times New Roman. This is going to be Sugoi. This is going to be 214 BPM mech tech. Oh, it's Sugi. Wait, what? Oh, I always thought it was. I thought it was Sugo Sugoi, bro.
Oh
Yes,
my
bro.
God.
Oh no, that's tragic.
That's so sugoi, my man. But yeah, times your room and you have a foam here. But yeah, the map focuses primarily on mech tech. The BPM on this is going to be 214. You have those slight light tech elements scattered throughout the map with a few sliders, but yeah, also you have a lot of tapping involved, a lot of mechanics involved. This can be deducted by the name of the skill set. The map is 2 minutes and 43 seconds long, but there's a nice little detail about this map, which it has a few rhythm elements, and I think Nick can expect a little more on that.
Just saw one with that 1/3 square. There was also a little 1/3 in the build-up to this drop. Yeah, it just has a little bit of everything besides raw mechanics like the normal one is. It's pretty interesting and feels a very unique role in this little like small pool. Just filling in a bit of everything that's still needed.
Just that little mechanical sauce, that little bit of rhythm sauce. Those 1/3 patterns so devious, going to be the main point of practice for this pool, or for this beat map rather. Just trying to nail those. And it is a combo game after all, making it work with this map as well as this tail end. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of red ones there, putting in the work.
Hello,
for,
everyone.
Huh? Hello, Gami.
Yet, not yet.
You
Get out of
you're
here.
showcasing. You gotta go. You gotta get out of here, man.
But yeah, adding more onto the map, you have 1/6 also being present for the last PI. In general, the way that the mapper approaches this is, usually the 1/6 is mapped through passive 1/6 reverses. It does change a little on the last PI. You'd have also the elements of 1/6 added in up in the very end, and also the 1/3 also becomes a big part of the map in general. But yeah, this is a really interesting pick. As Gami might have said, this is a very hello Avignon map. Definitely very emotional, and definitely a lot of yeah, that was the 1/6. It was just 4 notes either way, but those sliders might be a little evil, so make sure to be aware of those. Ports used to have meaning.
Everything is emotional if you think too hard about it.
Exactly.
Going on to our Hard Rock 2 now. It's going to be another relatively short map in this pool, running into Prompt by WXS featuring Spila.
Nick,
Yeah,
this is your...
to contrast the Hard Rock 1. Yeah. To contrast the Hard Rock 1, it's a fairly simple precision aim map. Like, that's all there is to this. The bigger story is that I only know this map because this is Chip sent this to me and Kevin when we were mapping our OWC qualifiers map. I was like, yo, can you guys just make this but like a little different, a bit harder? Which makes it just perfect for what I'm looking for here. So I was looking for that exact same thing, just aim Hard Rock 2, aim precision.
Yep, the map is also relatively short, a minute and 49 seconds long. I gotta appreciate also, as Watsat mentioned in the chat, gotta appreciate the song names as well. HR1 being Times New Roman, HR2 being prompt. Kind of funny given the day and age we live in. But yeah, Kevin Chella, the mapper of HR2, I mean, does really good structural maps in general, and I feel like this HR2 is also one of them. And I think if I recall correctly, Kevin Chella also does map precision quite a lot, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong.
I think I just like CS5, to my knowledge.
Big fan of the CS5, and as you mentioned, this map relatively similar, or relatively simple in comparison to that Hard Rock one, given some solid dichotomy in this Hard Rock pool. And from here on out, I mean, most of these slots are just as anticipated. Like, you have these cheeky little 1/3 at the tail end, but other than that, really solid map. And yeah, HR2, quick, short, to the point. And to a significantly longer DT1 is going to be one Nekomata Master with Far
that's a
East
classic.
Nightbird, RLC's Extra. I'm going to pull up the rank data of this one because, yeah, 2014.
Yes. I mean, with RLC's mapping, it doesn't really feel like 2014 that much. I mean, you can kind of still see it, but RLC was so far ahead of this time. I'd imagine a lot of mappers, if you are in this showcase, they know RLC's game. A lot of people in general took inspiration from RLC's mapping back in the days. But yeah, this map in general, skill set wise, that was going to be your hybrid when it comes to both aim and mechanics. Mostly focused on mechanics though. This is 263 BPM. Mostly just mechanics consistency.
Hey, you just got everything. I mean, there's so many bursts in this. There's bunch of that, like 2013, 2014 aim. And then this is... I wish people farmed these maps, because these maps are actually super farmy. One wants to play aim stop instead.
Oh well.
Also, yeah, 2014 storyboard. Like, holy.
I've actually never seen the storyboard for this now. That's crazy. Storyboard is so cool on this now.
Techno egg. Oh no, it's gone. Yeah, really of its era for the storyboard. Like it a lot.
I see Jackpacks complaining about the tapping, so we have hit the tapping criteria of the pool. Tapping quota.
Tapping quota.
Tapping
No
quota
one
has
doesn't
me
even
for-
have that much tapping. It's like a single stream
Like
with
this
zero
map?
spacing even.
No, in No Mod 1.
But he also mentioned no one one.
Oh my god. I mean, it's like 7-note bursts at max from what I've seen. At 220, like, those are not even that spaced, so yeah. I'm gonna share the sentiment with you guys here, but this map, it's such a good one. It's definitely a classic. It has been seen in some cases for a few tournaments, but I mean, you can't really go wrong with RLC. If you have RLC in the pools, I'm in.
Chat, I'm in. Welcome to the Shark Tank of pooling. Oh my god, is that a dragon?
I think it's more of an eagle. I don't think dragon has wings emphasized like that. I think dragon wings look a little different in comparison. Oh, it's a bird. It's literally like the song is Far East Nightbird.
That
What are we doing
night-
about
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
night
that's
bird
the
in question.
night
Wait,
bird.
was that why there was an egg too? Is that like his kid?
hatching? Yeah, probably hatching. Like I don't
I
know.
see. We've uncovered a story with the storyboard. Me when the storyboard actually tells a story.
This is very emotional. It shows the cycle of life.
And so with that beautiful DT1, sorry Jackpacks, there's more tapping. I do fear. I do fear there's more tapping. As this DT2, it's back to standard motions. Hey, it's WWW.
W jackpacks. W speed.
Yeah, this is speed.
This is speed,
A bit
very
more
stamina.
stamina focused. Yeah, it's normal 2. A couple dozen BPM. And reduce all the spacing.
Yeah,
You
this
can't
is
really go
actually
wrong. Go
like
on.
normally you see like the aim maps kind of being on equal footing with tapping maps these days, but this pool's a little different with that regard. With Noma 1, DT1. Well, DT1 not really an aim map, but the finger control difficulty at least higher SR map in the pool. This is just about 3rd or 4th in the SR for this pool. So relatively standard, really focused on this low spacing stamina, which is the reason for its SR. But 250 tapping requirement, very much the need here. But if you are a tapping player, farmer, as I'm sure there are many of you in this tournament, should be plenty comfortable for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with the Elch here on GT2 as well. This is such a classic. Remember seeing this back in the days of like 2023, 2024. Definitely a classic as well. But yeah, W map, W DT2, and definitely W speed.
And this was WC like 2020 or something, and then I remember everyone started mapping this as well. I think there's some loved map that's just all spaced alt, and then there's at least one like 6-digit DD2.
Yeah.
Kind of case, I think this used to be Grand Finals level tapping, and then Wooting came out.
Welcome back,
That's
Rooting.
fair, yeah.
I still remember the Cat Burger hidden FC on the loved version. Bring back Cat Burger, bro.
I said burger, now I want a burger, man. I want to eat.
I had a burger
I'm
yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Burger. For Valentine's Day? I
What
too
does
love
that have to do
burgers. I
with
get it.
burgers?
I get it, man. I love that. I love burgers too. But yeah, that's gonna be the pool. Big, beautiful qualifiers pool. Well, there's small, beautiful qualifiers pool because of the sizing. But feel free to drop that feedback in that Mappool feedback channel whenever you get a chance to play it through. And with that, I do believe we're going to take a small break before we lead into our prediction stream. So, going to be taking a short moment to recoup and get that prep for you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Pull up the